Okay, so last week I received a miracle and it was just so like perfect. I don't even know how to say it. I don't even know if this will make sense to anyone, but I just have to share. Um, so I received restoration in a relationship that I simply did not expect to receive restoration in. Um, it was so perfectly like the series of events that came together to make this happen the way it did. Like the restoration could not have happened if it wasn't for how these series of events were ordered. And for that I give all glory and thanks to God because I'm like, how does this happen? I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but the gist of it is there was kind of a situation I had been feeling like I guess a certain way. And there was a little situation. It was really little. It wasn't like anything major, but it just was kind of like that tip of the iceberg. Like I'm done. I can't deal with this kind of a thing. And um, all I know is, I walked away from it. Whatever. I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I'm just going to like try and extend myself less. I'm just gonna be less present. Whatever. It's fine. And I'm not saying that was a good way to handle it, but I didn't see any other way. I'm like, well, knowing this person, like, they're not really gonna think about their words. Like, they're not really gonna think that they, like, ever really did anything wrong or, like, be contemplative at all. So I'm just gonna, like, let it go and just try and move on. Anyways, and this has been actually, like, a really, really long time. This is a close family member, but, so I actually have been feeling like kind of the effects of this for my entire life. Anyways, sorry, it's warm in here. Oh my gosh, it's just so crazy how God can turn around something just like that. So, we had, or no, sorry, I had, went off. I'm like, whatever, it's fine. Like, went away, went off, not went off. But, not went off, went off. I had went away and just was trying to figure out how to, like, handle this. And I was thinking like, I know how this is gonna go. Like, I just need to, yeah, just stop extending myself as much. And when I tell you, the least thing that I expected, so we normally have like Bible study together, and I think it was the day before we ended up we ended up um, like canceling, and I spent that day like thinking, okay, Lord, this is how I'm going to use this time to partner with you and work with you, and you're going to work with me and show me where I'm wrong and show me how to refine my thinking in this. And maybe you do the same for her, like, whatever. I don't know. I'm just going to put it in your hands. And I remember having such a confidence with my prayer. I said, even though this doesn't feel good, even though I'm not about this, I know your will for families is unity. I know your will for fellow believers is unity. I know that you want peace in my house. I know that you want peace for me. I know that you can come through. And there is something so about just like that deep seated knowing, like praying for something and just knowing. It's not, I'll be honest, it's something that I could do a little bit better with, but in that case, I just knew. I said, you know what? Family is from you. Unity is from you. I don't know. Unity is from you, but this is how you want things to be. So I'm going to go ahead and just believe. that you're gonna work it out. And I don't know if it was the belief or what the deal was, but I gave him, I think, like 4 points. I said, this is where I had an issue, this is where I had an issue, this is where I had an issue, and this is where I had an issue. And they were all symptoms of like a prolonged, like, we haven't talked kind of a thing. We've never talked. We both, me and this other person, have very different styles of resolution. Like, for me, I have to talk things out, and for them, it's just kind of like, move on, you know, like, okay, you're upset, like, sorry, move on, no further. And so this caused a lot of like issues for us on an emotional level. And and he's been working in this situation. Like, I cannot tell you, I think it was like a month ago or 2 months ago, I was like, Lord, there's literally no way this situation will change. There's nothing I can do. This person doesn't contemplate their side as much unless I get upset. And if I get upset, then automatically I'm overreacting. I'm this, I'm that. Like, it's like the accountability just, I'm not seeing it. And I'm not going to get into it, but it's just like, it felt and it continued to feel like an impossible situation. Like, it was just insane. And I'm like, Lord, there's literally no way you can come through in this. And it's just, I mean, there's been like now 2 or 3 things that have contributed to this event playing out how it did. The first one was, I had prayed, I had just said, we need unity, Lord, we need unity. And I'll never forget, an angel spoke to me, angel of the Lord spoke to me and said, pray over this, or like, pray over this, or pray about it, or something to that effect. And I normally do like intercession prayer. I normally do that on Thursdays, but this was on a Tuesday. And I'm like, okay, like, I'll pray about it. And I prayed about it. And literally that Thursday, there was something that happened that it was like, oh my gosh. I was just shocked. And it was like, wait a minute, this is the answer to my prayer. Because my exact prayer was something like, let there be um, let there be something that we can come together in your name, and let that be the foundation of how we come together. And on Thursdays we have Bible study. So after my Bible study, I come back and I do my intercession prayer. Inter, that sounded weird. I don't know why that sounded weird. And I intercede for people. Not intercede. Yeah, that's what I meant. And we had been talking on our way to Bible study, and I said I didn't finish my Bible study stuff, which I never have. I never do. And this person was like, "Oh, me either. Maybe we should hold ourselves accountable and like do it together." And I was just like, and this was after I had prayed, and I was like, I was so shocked because, one, I'm like, okay, I can already see how this would be so beneficial. Like, when you talk about the things of God with someone, it's inherently intimate. You know, you're gonna get into the deep-seated, especially if you're doing a Bible study where it's like, reflect on how a situation where God has come through, whatever the case is. I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, this could be the answer to my prayer. No, it was the answer to my prayer. But the craziest thing about, and this is for someone, I had said multiple times, I want to do Bible study with you when we first started. Never did that. We never did that, and I'm glad that we didn't. And it's one of those things where it's like, it was the right prayer, but at the wrong time. And I wanted it to happen, and it was going to happen, but within God's timing. And that's for someone because you might be praying for something and it's absolutely right, but it's not within his timing. Give it to him. If it's something that you know this is something that will glorify you. It's answered. It's done. Don't even ask. Don't question. It's literally done. But you might have to wait. You might have to wait. And I think about if he had answered it then and made it something that was on both of our hearts, because it was just on my heart, it would be a very different situation. Both of us were in different places spiritually and with our overall maturity, and it probably would have actually not served us very well. And so I'm actually really thankful. Oh my gosh, I'm really thankful it didn't happen then and there. Um, but yeah, he came through here and now, and this was like maybe like 2 months ago or so, and it just happened so beautifully, so perfectly, and through that, restoration has just been our portion. There's just like no way around it. So if you're hoping for restoration in a situation, in a relationship, just know that that is literally something that God delights in. There's no way he can resist you asking for that thing. 100%. 100, 1,000, a million%, I would stake my life on it. It is something that he wants. He wants that for you. And so, anyways, just to like sum this up, I go in. So we had the day of separation where we normally would have Bible study, but we both went off our separate ways, and it was just very like, okay, I know where I stand. Okay, I know, like, I have peace in my heart, like, and it's okay if I have to just I don't know, speak less or something like that. Just adjust myself just to feel a sense of like comfort and emotional safety and all of that. And mind you, every single point that I said, I only told God about it. I didn't tell this other person about it. The next day, when we come together, and I remember feeling like, okay, this feels you ordained, this separation. Like, how is it that I feel deeply, I don't know if I can handle this, like, Bible study today, and then they canceled on me. And I'm like, that is so interesting, because we don't normally do that. So, normally it's like either one of us or the other one or whatever. Anyways, so I go in there, we meet up to have our Bible study, and when I tell you, first of all, first thing this person says is, I need to apologize. And I'm like, what? Like, I literally, like, did the, wait, what? Like, I was so taken back. I'm like, why? Because in my mind, I was just like, it's fine. Like, I'll just look past it. I remember telling the Lord, I'll just have to make myself small until things can change. And that's just how that's going to have to be. And I was going to be okay with it for the sake of, I guess, I was so shocked. Every single point that I took to the Lord, every single point, every single point, every single point, either was initially addressed or had room to be addressed.